listening to the Watercooler Edit with Rich and Eman.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Watercooler Edit with my Bayut, hosted by myself, Eman, and Richard.
Hey, how are you?
All good. We are actually going to be going ahead with our second installment of our developer profile. We're going to be talking about...
We're going to be talking about Arada.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to give you a brief overview in their history, a few prominent projects, and some things that we actually find interesting. So let's get started. So, Arada, it's a major player in the market now. I think anybody that's been around in the real estate vertical has seen how much market share they've so quickly accomplished as well, right?
Very quickly. I mean, they established in 2017, so we're not even a decade. And if you consider what they've achieved in that relatively short period of time, it's pretty impressive, huh?
It is pretty impressive. And it's also very interesting because they're actually a Sharjah-based developer, right? So they were actually founded Sultan bin Ahmed Al Qasmi and Prince Khalid bin Al Walid bin Talal, right? So it has Sharjah roots, UAE-based, homegrown brand. And they've established their presence, I would say, not just within Dubai and Sharjah, but worldwide. So I think just within Dubai and Sharjah, they've launched projects for 60 billion. In the last 7 years, and they're not stopping there. They're actually going forward. They're going to be actually launching in Australia, from what I had read, and I think that's an AUD $200 million project.
Yeah, I think they announced that back in August 2024 that they're heading into the Australian market, specifically kind of New South Wales area, Sydney, and what have you. So a global extension, basically, right? So I think it's really just the story of the developer and what they're achieving is really, really exciting.
And I think another thing that maybe a lot of people may not know, but they actually in 2022 launched a sukuk, right? Which is basically a bond. And that had reached a valuation of about 400 million. And then in 2024, which was just last year, that valuation ended up at $1 billion in that short amount of time. So honestly, those numbers are just so impressive.
They are. They're mind-boggling numbers. And I think they speak to what you can clearly see is just a ferocious ambition and a drive for quality, basically.
Agreed.
As we get into some of the individual projects, I think that very much comes to the fore.
It does. And I think it's really interesting because they have their foot in so many different sectors, right? So just last year, they actually acquired a few fitness brands. So they already owned WellFit in the UAE, which is a premier gym chain in Medan, JVC, etc.
Yeah.
They bought 3 more gym chains. So you have your Platform Studios, you have Fit and Glam, you have FitCode, etc. So they brought this whole wellness group to actually take responsibility of them moving forward from a more wellness lifestyle type of perspective. And I think we're going to jump into the projects here because this integrates very nicely. So just in May of 2025, after this acquisition of all of these, fitness and lifestyle wellness brands, Arada has actually launched their first project in DIFC, major market, major footprint. It's called Akala, and it's actually going to be the first ever branded wellness destination.
Okay.
And I think this is really interesting because this is also playing into Dubai's 2030 vision to be the place for wellness as well. So prime real estate in DIFC, honestly, the vectors for this look gorgeous.
Really?
For this building, yeah. It looks like you're living in a resort, and apparently it's going to be fully integrated. It's an off-plan launch expected in 2027, 2029.
Okay.
Prices do match that luxury footprint that they're offering.
That's a shocker.
So 1 bed start at about 3.8 million. 2 beds go up to 6 million. But the kicker here is they actually have 6 bed sky view penthouses that start at 88 million. Yeah.
88 million. Yowza. I'd imagine those people who can afford that are already experiencing quite a lot of wellness.
I would assume so.
But they're going to get even more. They're going to get even more.
But honestly, for me personally, that is one of the most prime locations in DIFC. It has an amazing entry-exit point, so you don't get stuck in that traffic. The view is actually quite nice. I actually drive past this building every day, so I'm watching it be made. So I'm like, 2029, I want to see what this actually will look like when it's ready.
You're seeing it going from the ground up. You're seeing it on a daily basis. It's interesting. Yeah, look, what a project. I mean, I think considering that their first project in Dubai was announced in 2022, right? I think if you look at just the sheer amount of projects and the scale and prestige with this chief amongst them, it's kind of impressive.
So, Richard, you discussed the first ever project in Dubai. I think this is a good opportunity to showcase their first project in Sharjah.
Throw it back to where it all began.
Exactly. So they actually launched Nasma Residences, which is a townhouse and villa community, fully sold out at launch. To date, all 6 phases have actually been delivered. So it's a fully completed community, massive success of a project. And then they went ahead and they launched Al Jada, which is the first integrated community of Sharjah. It's actually one of my favorite communities personally. It has so much that they've packed into that community. There's housing, there's schools, there's an entertainment complex, there's a skate park, there are restaurants, there are hotels. They've literally made it like a mini city within a city. And it's, when you go there, you don't feel like you're even in the UAE, let alone Sharjah. Everything is so calm and it's so green, and they've done such an amazing job with this community.
Wow. So
It's really like transformed, I would say, the Sharjah real estate space.
how far into Sharjah is it? So, for example, if say you're driving from Dubai and you just go...
It's on the border, more or less.
Is
It's
it-
very close to the university city side.
Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah.
And I used to go there quite
So
often.
really well placed.
Yeah, it's really well placed, really central, and they have so much that's going on there. So I think that's really interesting. And the latest project that they've actually launched in Sharjah is the first ever Anantara in Sharjah.
You know, I'm a fan of Anantara.
Yeah.
I have to say.
So they're going to be launching the hotel and the residences. So I think the residences is actually going to be something that's really interesting when it comes up. That is supposed to be delivered in 2027.
Okay.
But I think that's not the first time that they've worked with a hotel chain here. I believe Dubai has a few exciting developments.
Yes,
that
they've
they're
got
working on.
some branded projects coming up that are really quite impressive. I think you were the first one to look at if we take the W residences at Dubai Harbour. Now, Dubai Harbour, we know, is a rapidly developing community. Very, very impressive. And this is going to be an impressive addition. You're talking, it's a 3-tower luxury seafront development. It's in collaboration with Marriott.
Yep.
It features 400 branded apartments and from 1-bedroom to 5-bedroom.
Okay, nice. This is also the community that I know that is supposed to have Dubai's longest infinity pool.
It is, because it's in the connection between the three. It's called a podium, apparently, a connecting podium, which is weird. I thought that's something that you stood at when you gave a speech.
See,
But apparently,
isn't that a little scary? I'm going to wait for this development to come out, and I think it's really ambitious. I think it's really cool.
it looks stunning, I have
But-
to say.
I'm from the generation that has watched Final Destination.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm watching them at the moment. I'd seen the first 3, but I am now watching the 4th one and the 5th one before I watch the one
Interesting.
that's just come out. And sorry, guys, there's just a little bit of...
yeah. So for me, I'm like,
does someone bite it in an infinity pool?
and also like, I don't know why, but that visual for me reminds me of, the Fast and the Furious movie, the one that was shot in Abu Dhabi, where they're jumping from one Etihad tower to the other Etihad tower. So for me, a connecting infinity pool, I think sounds so cool.
It
But
does look cool.
I'm going to wait for it to actually be developed to see it myself, because I'm kind of struggling with that. But I'm like, man, that's so cool.
It's very like it's in Singapore, isn't it? Is it the rooftop one between the...
Marina Bay Sands,
Yeah. So, look, going to be honest, looks fantastic. 200 meters long. There's so much stuff here. I mean, these buildings are going to have their own in-house cinema, a music recording studio. I mean, it's just...
They're supposed to have like games rooms. I think anything that you can think of, it's going to be in this.
Yeah, basically, it's complete luxury. And completion expected 2027. So keep your eye on Dubai Harbour, because these luxury towers are springing up.
And I think what's also interesting is that you have that on Dubai Harbour, but they have another development with Armani on the Palm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really interesting as well, because you were telling me this earlier, that the people that were actually interested in those units.
This is brilliant. Right, so if you buy one of these units, essentially there's 53 properties, right? The smallest two-bedroom apartment is 2,657 square feet, up to the presidential suite at 43,380 square feet, which is pretty impressive. The prices start at $5.7 million. Okay.
So that's like 20 million dirhams starting price for a 2-bed?
Yes. Right. Now, right, so but if you do purchase one of these, you get flown, well, we're in the process of purchasing, you get flown to meet with Giorgio Armani himself, because he has been personally involved in the
design
interior,
process.
Yeah. It's a Japanese architect named...
Tadao Ando.
Thank you. Yeah. You're so much better at the pronunciation than me. Yes, but also Armani himself has been involved. So you get to go and meet him as part of you get flown to Italy to meet him as part of your process of buying, which is pretty cool, huh? And then completion towards the end of 2026 for that one.
Wow.
So, I mean, honestly, guys, well, we'll put up some photos here so you can see, but it is... I mean, I know every project we talk about, like, it's a luxury project. What can I say about this? This is ultra luxury, right? It's it's next level.
And I think that's what's really interesting about the UAE real estate market, right? You think one thing, and they're like, scratch that, we're elevating it to a new level.
Yeah.
And all of these projects from Arada, they're so diverse, they're so interesting, they're touching a lot of different touch points, and it's quite unique to see them start out from projects that were like, in University City. There was a lot of university accommodation as well. That was part of Arada. Then you have, Masaar, which is another community we haven't discussed, but that had a whole theming around forests and greenery and things like that. And then you have projects like Akala, which is focused on wellness. Mm-hmm. You have the Armani, residences, which are ultra luxury, only 53 units. Yep. You have W Residences, which is a massive 3-tower complex with that little Final Destination X Fast and Furious infinity pool. And that's what, right? Even for me, I've been in this industry for such a long time. I'm having a difficult time imagining one of those infinity pools. They're like, you know what? We're going to make that a reality. We're going to actually do it. And I'm going to be like, yes, I will wait and see, because I want to see this.
Yeah.
So it's just so interesting.
It sounds like you're going to be seeing it from afar as opposed to actually being in it. It's very...
that is the plan.
Stay away from the Final Destination movies, people.
So
it gives you complexes.
So it's so interesting to see how all of this develops and how much they have in store. And these handovers are in quite succession. There are so many projects. Jury Hills is supposed to deliver this year. Then they have projects that are handing over next year. Then in 2027, Akala is due in 2029. There is so much to be informed about and to wait for. And then what's also interesting is they have this whole Australia division coming up. Mm-hmm. What else are they planning?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be impressive in New South Wales, all around kind of the Sydney area and stuff. It's a real kind of global expansion. And I think with, like you say, they've got so many projects ongoing. That's what really struck me when we were doing the research for this episode. That you look at it and you're like, wow. I mean, it's an eclectic mix of projects, but it's just like the sheer ambition and level of quality it's a bit of a jaw dropper, to be honest.
And it's a mix, right? You have wellness, you have greenery, you have villa communities, you have apartments, you have hotels, you have, branded residences. You have all of the stuff that Arada is doing. And it's so cool to see them do that and actually transform what we're looking at in this industry.
I'm sure with the Jury Hills at Jumeirah Golf Estates as well, that, I mean, you were talking about greenery, that every single property has direct access to greenery.
True.
Like, and we're not talking about like a bush, which are it's like proper access, you know what I mean? But I love that. We're seeing this more and more, aren't we? Like complexes theme based around it doesn't even have to be, you could say it's not a theme, it's like
around like lifestyle, it's like an ecosystem, a community that they're building. And I think that's so refreshing in this industry where everything is kind of cookie cutter or like, things are very generic. It's like, this is what you're getting. I feel like they're creating something that is properly unique.
Yep, completely agree. And also, like you said with the gyms that they've purchased and what it kind of fits into that, and that whole narrative that they're cultivating, a genuine narrative that they're cultivating. basically, exciting times.
I feel like I sound like too much of a fangirl. I genuinely am just actually excited. And I think it'll be...
But no, look, I mean, you don't. They are exciting projects, you know. I mean, like I said, when we were doing the research, I was kind of blown away by it, to be honest. So, you know, it's going to be to see these projects actually come to fruition. It's going to be pretty special, I think.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. And that brings us to a close for this episode. If you want any more information about Arada, about the projects that they have, we have an accompanying post about them on My Bayut.
We do indeed.
Yes. So it'll even talk about projects like Masaar, which we didn't go into too much detail about. And yeah, you know, you can get all of that information there. And we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
You're listening to the Watercooler Edit with Rich and Eman.